The meeting is being recorded. All right, Sigal, you can start her up.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to have a meeting. Today is Thursday, June 25th, in order
correct.
to approve the Board of Education of 2021, right?
So yes, we need to certify the
Certify
the merit budget proposition, the high school budget proposition, the high school capital project proposition, and the trustee vote.
Okay, so can I have a motion to certify the high school proposition, the elementaries, and the board, the budget of the Board of the Elementary Board of Education, as well as the High School Board of Education, correct? Is that what you just said? I don't have my agenda in front of me. I'm so sorry.
So it's basically the budget,
project.
the two budgets, the capital project, and the trustee vote. You need a motion for that.
Motion for the two budgets, the capital project, and the trustee vote, please.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry about that.
Aye.
I had my dog barking and throws me off a little bit.
All right, and then the second item on the agenda is appointment of the special education summer staff.
Okay, so can I have a motion to appoint the agenda of the special education staff for the summer of 2020?
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Sal, how many kids do we have confirmed that are going to come to the live program?
We have 34 students right now between us and our component school districts.
And I gotta say, board members, I gotta commend Sal and Mike Savasano. They pulled off basically creating a safe program that's gonna open up in a few days on just a few week notice from when the governor said we could do it. And then a couple days later, when the New York State Department of Health gave the guidelines, they've done an incredible job pulling this off. And that's also why we're now appointing live staff members who will be in the live program.
Thank you.
So how many students will be included in that?
Between us and we do support our component school districts of Belmore, and we do have 2 North Merrick students. There'll be a total of 34 students.
That's
And-
wonderful.
And how many teachers do we have, Sal?
We've made our classes smaller, so typically we would have 4 teachers. This year we have 7 teachers.
Wow, that's good.
Great.
And what will be the timing of the program?
The program will run the same time it has always run. We were able to put together a full day program. Students will be in the building from 8:30 to 2. Ms. Buscemi and her office did an incredible job. She was able to secure multiple small bus transportation. So we're able to not only transport our students using our buses and contract buses, but also spread students out for safety.
That's
Wow,
wonderful.
that's great.
That's
Thank
great.
you for that. That's great.
And what school are they going to be in?
We are using Chatterton.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
So that's all I had for today. I don't know if any board members had any other items.
Yeah, I just have a question. What work, real quick, I don't need, like, is it the air conditioning finishing this summer? How is all of that happening? Is that all working? Like, people are working in the buildings?
So Birch air conditioning's operational. Chatterton's air conditioning, for the most part, is operational. They are fine tuning which rooms don't have air conditioning. And now that Lakeside's power was brought over yesterday, and I'm hoping that when I call over there, they actually have full power today. Now the air conditioning company can come in and do all the calibration for Lakeside.
Wonderful.
So in a couple weeks, I guess Lakeside would be fully operational as well.
Great. That's great.
The other thing that I wrote you is we canceled the interior work on cabinetry and bathrooms, things like that, at Lakeside and Birch for the summer because we just were not confident that it could get done in a timely fashion.
Okay.
And I was not going to run into getting jammed up at the end of the summer when we're coming off a very difficult year and a lot of planning going on. The exterior work is still going on. Birch is actually quite far along. They ripped out everything. They'll soon, I think they were putting curbing in yesterday. And Lakeside will start probably within a couple weeks, ripping up the parking lots and sidewalks and things like that. So exterior work will get done at both of those places, but we put a hold on the interior work to next year.
Great, Dom.
So that would be next summer?
Yep. And, you know, right now we've got the committees off the ground for planning on reopening. My next meeting today is with the PTA presidents to talk to them about the reopening committees and integrate them as parent representatives on the committees.
That's important. Thank you.
Dom, I have a question about the current guidance regarding gathering.
Mhm.
You know, several people had reached out to me talking about, you know, the disappointment in not having formal moving up ceremonies.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to, you know, revisit what is the current guidance in terms of
So-
gathering.
So the last guidance that the New York State Department of Health submitted to us and directly about graduations indicated that those graduations were for young adults, high school students, high school graduations.
They didn't say high school students. The wording was young adults.
Young adults, which I think meant high school students. I'm not sure what
I don't
other
know.
graduations it means. And it was at 150 people at those graduations, and high schools throughout Long Island are moving at some point, either now, like our high school district is doing, or someplace deeper into the summer to do graduations. I know some school districts are still hoping that later in the summer, the guidance on the numbers loosens up, and then they could go to more traditional graduations, but there's no information on that. And contextualizing it, we're in phase 3 now for the Long Island reasons. Phase 4 starts on, I believe it's targeted for July 8th, which opens up many more things, although the newspaper is reporting that it's not a full opening of everything. There's still going to be some restrictions on certain businesses. So, things are progressing, but for right now, schools are not on the list. Higher education, actually, I believe, can open up in phase 4.
We're
They said, I'm sorry. Good.
Yeah.
In phase 4, catering halls can open for 6. So if you have a room that holds 500 people, you can have 250 as long as they're properly socially distanced. So that's another thing as far as graduation goes. We've been getting a lot of calls. Just to give you a heads up on that.
Mm-hmm. And that's where I think a lot of school districts are hanging in there, that saying, if the explicit rules on other businesses open up the numbers, then they may have a shot at full high school graduations. The problem with a high school graduation, if you have a class of 200, then multiply that out by 4 guests apiece, and you're right away hitting 1,000 ballpark before you even bring staff into it.
So you're saying then when we open up? Go ahead, Butch, sorry.
No, I say that we do a lot of smaller schools, nursery schools, kindergartens, or charter school kind of things. It's simple, not that large. But we still can't commit to it.
So are we considering that we would do something for the 6th graders once phase 4 hits?
Well, right now not once phase 4 hits, because it would have to be explicit guidance on those larger group ceremonies. So phase 4 doesn't automatically put us into larger groups. So we have to see what guidance comes out, and then we can consider it again. Most of the parent, we put out all the parents who had emailed principals, et cetera. We basically gave them that information about the guidance. And so far, as of yesterday, the principals didn't indicate that anybody, aside, I think, from one parent, expressed any distress about that. So we can look further into summer and see what happens. I know there's some discussions that some of the PTAs are organizing, like book signing, yearbook signing events, things like that, off premises. So those things may go on. And, I'm definitely not gonna say, no, we're not gonna do anything. It's gonna be if there's guidance that comes out accordingly. And then we'd go back to what was our original plan, which was survey the parents and see if we've got parents who are interested in doing it. So that,
And you wouldn't be interested in doing smaller groups?
all depends on what the guidance is at the time.
So you're saying that young adults excludes sixth grade moving up?
Well, I would never consider a sixth grader an adult in any fashion. I would never put them in that category for other reasons. So I don't think it was meant to include sixth graders. I definitely think it was meant to be directed at high school graduations. I think that was the governor's intent, and I think that was clearly the New York State Health Department's intent. But if there's new guidance, we will go back and look at the new guidance. I will tell you, based upon the state forum, I was at the regional forum I participated in yesterday, they all have their hands full figuring out the reopening of school. I would really be surprised if they spend any time on these later in the summer ceremonies. They are very much focused on getting things going appropriately in the fall, giving us appropriate, well, actually I shouldn't say that. I think that our forum and probably the other three pushed in the direction of we need clear guidance on many issues. And I'm not sure that the state education department was there yet. So in other words, I don't expect to get guidance from them tomorrow. I don't expect to get guidance from them anytime soon. I think that the 4 statewide forums really have pushed them into focusing on what needs to be done in guidance. Particularly my little breakout group, and then in a big group, they talked about getting very clear guidance on social distancing. I think that was a commonality among the breakout groups because that drives everything. So the breakout groups were in different categories. I was in the social emotional learning group. There were groups on personnel and transportation and facilities and just a whole bunch of different things. And a commonality from all those groups was, you got to tell us what we need to do about social distancing, because until we know about that, we don't know how we staff. We don't know how we run our facilities or transportation, how we address learning for kids, how we address SEL, things like that. So, but they did not seem like they were ready to send stuff out soon.
Dom, if I may weigh in for a second, I don't disagree with anything that you've said. I certainly don't interpret a sixth grader as a young adult, not that my interpretation matters, but in all of my interactions with other school districts, because some work I'm doing, everybody is interpreting it at the moment as we are. Graduations really meaning high school students. That being said, I think, and I'll only speak for myself, but I know some other people feel the same, clearly it's one of those milestones that, should have been celebrated under normal circumstances. And if there's any way to go back and recreate that moment, I think that's something that we would all want to do.
Absolutely.
Certainly,
Absolutely.
certainly we
Agreed.
understand that the staff, as they should be, is really focused on reopening, and, it'll take, every ounce of energy and time to figure that out. We appreciate it. But if there's a way to recreate, an important moment that was missed, I think we would want to do that.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree with that.
Dom,
I guess basically what we're saying is we're not going to forget about the sixth graders that basically just graduated in June. If there's no spiking and if everything stays smooth and going and we have clearance, then we'll definitely remember them and hopefully be able to do something for them.
Yep.
But we have to see how things go, I guess, in the next couple of weeks.
I have a question. There's other parts of the state that are much ahead of where we are, like upstate. So has there been any guidance for the schools in those areas? Or
To my knowledge, that Department of Health guidance was a statewide guidance. I don't think they issued anything to anything differently to other parts of the state.
It's statewide. I asked the same question. I called them and asked them that.
Okay. No, I just meant like when Linda said before, or you said before about, well, maybe in stage 4 or not in stage, you know, or no, there are, I think upstate is either in stage 4 or about to go into stage 4. So I meant, I wonder if this had come up like that, but no.
So I'm upstate right now. They're still stage 3. Everybody has a mask. It's no different than Long Island right now.
Okay.
I'm in the Hudson Valley right now. It's stage 3 still.
Well, I know in the Finger Lakes, they were the first to go to phase 1. And, you know, I'm just wondering, like, I wonder if schools up there now that are much more close to quote whatever the new normal is, if this issue had come up, but I'm assuming not. Okay.
No, I think what you're saying makes sense. In fact, I think the capital region, just north of where Gina is, the capital region is further along, and you would think that the folks in Albany are the people who's are writing these rules, whose actual kids are in phase 4 school districts. So if they were to make changes, they would be writing them there. So
That's
you know,
kind of what I was saying. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
When
Okay.
is our reorg meeting, Dom? Just to,
the second Tuesday, excuse me, second Monday.
Was.
I have the 13th in my head. Is that correct?
Let me just go into my calendar because that does sound right, but
That's the second Monday.
yep, then that's it.
Can I request a list of the board meetings for next year so I have them? I'm sure
Sure.
you sent them to us, but with all the emails, I don't know where it is. So can we just have a list of the board meetings for next year?
Okay.
You know,
Clarice,
the
you
next
got
school
that?
year, 2021 school year, 2020-21 school year.
Yes, I'll send that out.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, thank you,
Clarice.
Clarice.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Clarice.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you,
Thank you.
Clarice, for all your hard work during the budget vote and the election. We really appreciate it. Thank
You
you.
know, it wasn't easy.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dom, I have one more question. I'm sorry. So,
That's okay.
you know, I'm sure the subcommittee on curriculum is thinking about a lot of things. One of the things that I wonder about is how to individualize like classroom library materials. So if there's going to be, you know, a desire to not be touching the same sort of things, you know, classroom libraries obviously, you know, are a concern. I know that some publishers have made resources available for free. You know, I'm just wondering how, just somewhere, you know, thinking about how will we individualize things that are normally common property.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's,
need the answer now. I just,
yeah, no, I just a comment. Shared materials are in all the various subcommittees in different places. Shared materials is one of the categories. So it's for classrooms, it's for specials, it's for special services providers. It's one of the categories that they'll be discussing. I know there's been a lot of buzz about what to do with the classroom library materials and the district library materials, and that they'll certainly be digging into that and having coming up with a plan for all those pieces. I mean, we're fortunate is that we have a very deep library, both in our building libraries, but also in our classroom libraries. So there's a lot of materials to go around that they could probably figure out good strategies to isolate things.
and how often are the subcommittees meeting?
So the subcommittees are all going to meet probably, Sal, jump in if I go astray here, 3 times before mid-July. The administrative team has a standing Tuesday morning meeting every week to get back in. And then if any committee needs more time, they'll certainly organize additionally. And then we'll probably by mid to late July regroup a big committee to kind of share out where we're at and refine things. And then I would assume that some of the committees will have to continue meeting right up to the very end of the school year.
And I'm assuming board members can attend any of those subcommittee meetings.
So we've put on the table already that the so the way the subcommittees are being set up is, in almost every case is going to be 2 people co-chairing the committee, a building administrator and or a central office administrator chairing them. And then as they get their groups together, and yesterday we polled the staff member volunteers of what groups they wanted to be in. Jill put it all together, and they're notifying their people. Once they get those groups and issue the Zoom meetings, I'll have them put, well, you may be getting a lot of Zoom invitations, as guess what it's going to come down to.
Yeah.
I'll send you all the Zoom invitations for all of them, but it'll probably be, Sal, how many groups, do you remember how many subcategories there are?
There are 9 subcategories. We finished planning our last meeting yesterday afternoon. So we'll put together one email with dates, subcommittees, and all the Zoom invites. So at least you have them all in one place. We are starting next Monday, and I think just next week we have like 5 or 6 first initial meetings. We sent out Zoom invites to our teachers yesterday.
So Sal, just to be clear, can you send us out, and I think this is what you just said, the structure, the leadership, the committee membership, and then those invites. And this way we have a sense really of what's going on, and we can jump into those meetings as people want to.
So-
I know that I certainly want to. And then my last comment for the morning is, Dom, can you please make sure that syntax is teed up for, communication once we know our plan? So
Yep, we've
that,
had those discussions already.
okay, thank you.
So Nancy, we did get I guess we were CC'd, and I saw it and kind of couldn't get on it, and Sal, thank you for sending me another link. But I didn't choose any specific committees to be a part of, because I, like Nancy, kind of want to just hover over at whichever ones specifically I would like to. So I would like to be able to do that as well. But if there is any specific items that you guys need us for, or on an individual basis for specific committees, I'm happy to join any of the committees that you need as well.
Same, exactly the same
Yeah,
thoughts
I
that I'm
agree.
having. I'm
And
sure we're
Dom,
all having that, right?
Yes,
Agreed.
Tom, Sal,
Yep.
can you please make sure that Nicole is sent that information as well?
So Nicole kind of is getting in the door as the outgoing SEPTA president. So she's kind of been briefed on everything. In fact, she'll be in my 9 o'clock meeting, but then she'll be in as a board member as of July 1. So she got that massive set of background materials that I sent to all of you, which was also sent to every committee member. She got that as well.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Great.
Good, important.
So I will put that together this morning. I've already just started. So you will get one email with a heading of the subcommittee name, the people who are chairing it, and the date of our first meeting. We've only set the first meeting.
Great.
I have to compile just a few more because I'm missing, I think, 3 out of the 9. So as soon as I get those, I'll make sure I get those to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
All right, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Aye.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you. Have a great
Have a
day.
good night. Bye.